Hi, I'm Krishnan from Adjutas. In this demo, we'll be covering some of the benefits of Adjutas and strengths of Adjutas and how Adjutas is different from other complicated asset management softwares. So, as it's mentioned on the screen, like Adjutas is the less annoying asset management software. So that has been our motto when we sat down to build Adjutas. We wanted to keep Adjutas very simple so that it works like a plug and play application where setting it up would be easy and managing it and working with it on a day-to-day basis would also be very simple. And so the agenda for this demo would be a high level overview of Adjutas, and then we'll also give a very quick demo which can help you understand on the benefits of Adjutas and how Adjutas looks, and how Adjutas is intuitive and how easy it is to work with Adjutas. So why is Adjutas less annoying? I mean, anyone can make a statement on, our software is simple and things like that. So what makes Adjutas less annoying is its simplicity. Like when we sat down to build Adjutas, we wanted to have all the features packaged into Adjutas that will make the process of asset management very simple. And in addition to that, we decided not to have the other bells and whistles, which actually makes things more complicated or makes it intimidating for an organization to start adopting a product. So, for example, the one single plus point, or the number one plus point of Adjutas is its ease of setup. So you have your assets in a spreadsheet, you upload it into Adjutas, and then Adjutas takes care of everything. Right? It takes care of creating new departments, new vendors, assets, and the employees who are using that assets and things like that, which we'll cover in detail, when we look at the demo. And some of the plus points of Adjutas is it's easy to set up and use. It is very intuitive and very simple, and there's no complicated jargons in the menu and things like that. Third party integration is possible with Adjutas. We are a very integration friendly organization. So we do support integration with third party products, and it need not be an integration on day one. Like 6 months down the line, you can buy a new product, and then we'll be more than happy to integrate it with that particular product. For example, Adjutas has been integrated with SAP in the past, and we've also been integrated with other inventory management softwares and things like that. And our strength is customer support. We don't make you like wait to offer you support. We don't have a complicated IVR menu which you will have to navigate to get support. You just have to pick your phone and dial our number, and our customer support executive will pick up the phone and clarify all your issues. And in addition to that, we also have a SLA backed customer support process. So from that perspective, you will get a resolution to your issues much faster. And from a product perspective, and also from a company's perspective, we want to make sure that you are able to retrieve as much ROI as possible from Adjutas. So to facilitate that, we are happy to customize the product to suit your requirement. We're also happy to add some custom features that you might need while using the product, and things like that. And we also have, so in addition to asset management, we also have some additional modules like security module and service level approval module. So that makes it easy for you to manage the asset when it is being sent outside the organization for a maintenance or for repair, and it also makes it easy for you to record on when the asset has come into the organization after the repair and things like that. So Adjutas is actually a complete packaged product which has everything related to asset management. So having said that, let's look into the demo. And you will have to you'll have a username and password which you'll use to log in into Adjutas, and this is how the home screen will look like. And you can manage your asset based on locations, based on departments. You can segregate your assets based on departments and based on locations. So I mean, Some people use this tickets module and some people don't. So it's end of the day, it's completely your convenience. And Ajutas also has an option to record all the issues that the assets might have on a day-to-day basis. Like the employees who are using the asset can raise a ticket, and the people who are responsible to take care of the asset or to manage the asset can jump in and fix the issues and things like that. So that's with tickets. We also have admin module where you configure everything and you manage your users and other stuff. And creating an asset is very simple. I'll click on create, and then just some basic details are required, some basic mandatory details are required, and then if you provide those details and hit save, the asset gets created. Now, another plus point which I mentioned, in the slide on what makes Adjutas really easy to set up. So we have something called advanced import. So there's a sample spreadsheet that you can download. Let me do that now. Now this spreadsheet has all the columns that's required to manage the asset. Now, not all columns are mandatory. Some columns are mandatory and some columns are not mandatory. Now, but if you provide data for all these, for all the columns, Adjutas will automatically create it. And what do I mean by that? Now, for example, let's say this, let's say this asset is being used by a particular user or particular employee, and you need not create that employee separately. All you have to do is mention the employee email address here, and that employee will automatically be provisioned, right? Let's say you have not provisioned a new vendor or a particular vendor, not required. You just have to mention the vendor name here, and the vendor will get automatically provisioned, right? So what I'm trying to say is, to manage the assets, you need, I mean, generally you will have to create vendors, employees, and then you will have to create the assets, and then you will have to map the asset to the vendor, and then assign the assets to a particular employee, and all this, and things like that. So to avoid that and make things very simple, you can fill in all the asset details here with the employee details, with the vendor details, and things like that, and upload it to Adjutas, and then Adjutas will automatically create those vendors and employees if they are not already available in the system. So that makes it very simple and to set up and start using initially, and you just have to upload all the data at one place, and the entire account gets provisioned. So that's one of the bigger strengths that we have. So once you have all the assets created, either manually or via a CSV file upload, the assets would appear here. You can narrow down to all the assets based on, you can type the assets here, and then accordingly the assets will get filtered, and you can click on a particular asset to get to the asset details. Now these are this is the detailed description of the asset. You can go here and assign the asset to a particular employee, or that is possible, right? So now this asset is assigned to this particular employee. Now when you create an asset, QR code also gets automatically generated. Now you can take a printout of this QR code and tag it to the asset, so that at a later point of time, when the administrator wants to quickly find out the information about the asset, all he has to do is open up the Adjutas mobile app, scan the QR code, and he'll be able to see all the details about the asset. So tagging the asset is very simple. All you have to do is take a printout of the QR code and then fix it on top of the asset. Now we've covered creating assets, and also managing the asset details, and also assigning the asset to certain employees, and in addition to that, we also have audit log. We call it activity. When you click on activity, you have a detailed tracking on what is happening with the asset. Now for example, in this scenario, this particular employee or user assigned the asset to this particular employee. Now all these things keeps getting recorded here, and there is an audit log. So if at all we need to see what's happening with the asset or what happened with the asset in the past, it's very simple. All we have to do is get into the asset details and then click on activity, and then we can see the details clearly. And so once the employees are created either via a single spreadsheet upload or manually, we can see the employee details here. A photo can be uploaded if required, and then we also get to see all the assets that that particular employee is using. Now we also recently assigned a new asset to the employee, and then that asset also shows up here along with the asset ID. Now you can also manage your vendors here, and one vendor can be tagged to multiple assets, and so that is possible in Adjutas. And then let's move on to reports. Now reports can be I mean there are various reports here, and we are also happy to customize any reports or build new reports that you might need in the future. But for this demo, I'll cover two major reports which is quite popular with our customers. One is location based report and department based report. Now you can see here in this report all sorry, in this particular account all the assets are in one particular location. So 100% of the assets are in India and 100% of the assets are in this particular town in India. Now let's say if the assets are spread across multiple countries and multiple cities, the same would reflect here. So it it makes the administrator or the manager's job easier to understand how the assets are distributed across the organization, which location has how many assets, and stuff like that. And the next report would be the department-wise segregation of the assets. In this demo account, you can see that majority of the assets are with the engineering department, and the second category would be the HR department, and then you have the food production and the IT and so on. Right, so that's a simple demo of Adjutas, and in addition to that, we have service request where you can create new service requests, and then there's an approval process that happens which can be customized here. So you can actually customize your own approval process. You can set up like a one level approval process or a two level approval process and so on. So you can completely customize your approval process, and based on that approval process the service request travels. So let's say if there is a three level approval, then after the first level approval, the second level the person who is responsible for the second level approval gets an alert, and then the third level and the fourth level and so on. And the plus point is in each and every level multiple people can be alerted to get the alert for a service request. And once the service request gets approved, the security is notified that so and so asset has been approved and will be sent for servicing soon, and then he'll be able to identify if there's an asset that is being sent offsite for repair or service. Then he'll be able to track the same over here and accordingly issue a gate pass so that the asset is able to move outside the organization, and then onwards when the asset is being serviced and brought in, he can also issue a inward pass and then make sure that the asset is being properly tracked while it is being brought into the organization. So I've covered all the basic aspects and the important aspects of Adjutas, and I hope you find this application and this demo useful, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.